I believe we're in compliance. Yes. We'll be meeting well. If you'd care to join me, please stand and I'll say the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. All right, do you have any public comment? Looks like a no. And we had no questions submitted at our last meeting. Communication correspondence? I don't think so. Either? Okay. Minutes from last month are the first thing in your packet. Hopefully you had a chance to look these over. The only thing I noted was that it didn't have an adjournment time, which is 6:02.
Anybody on?
No, just everyone in the room.
When someone is ready and willing, I will entertain a motion to approve or adjust if needed.
I'll make that motion.
Motion to approve made by Mark Peterson. Do we have a second?
Second.
By Mark
This
Briskevich.
is a K.
Thank you.
Yeah, I got it right. Great job.
All in favor, please say aye. Any opposed, say no. Thank you. Motion is carried. Treasurer's report, sir.
It's be short this time of the year because it's only got 3 pages. We don't have all the transactions on there from last year. Nothing dramatic has happened again. Still haven't figured out how to get that Caribbean vacation in, so. No, everything looks appropriate. We dropped down because of the front door, so we've now paid for all of that. When we get to it on the bills for this month, we'll have another bill that you'll be addressing for $1,100. Apparently tightened the front door. And based on how the front door is working at the moment, who knows, we might have another bill coming. Or warranty repair.
Is it not working?
It's not closing.
Oh, right. They're supposed to come and look at that. Sorry, that's part of my report. I don't ever use that door, so I forget.
I'm like, you're gonna be.
As far as the accounts, there isn't anything dramatic one way or the other.
Close enough.
And we don't need to have approval, it's informational.
Okay.
Any questions they have in finance?
Thank you, Bruce, for your efforts.
Mhm.
Any questions for our treasurer? Very good then. Becky, report.
Okay.
I do have one positive.
Okay.
The Farm Bureau, the dairy educational grant material, is that for like books and stuff, or is that to like have like a dairy day?
Oh, you're jumping ahead, that's
So I'm
on the monthly bills, I'm sorry.
Right. I'll wait for further discussion.
Okay.
Oh, wait,
Okay.
just remind me when we get there, Bruce.
Okay. Mary has a recipe exchange. If you guys have recipes that you want to add, please stop by the front desk. People are excited about it, but we also don't have a ton so far. So please give us your recipes. Tea of the month is still going well. We bought a license to Kahoot. It was kind of expensive, but they're going to tell you how much they love it. And so it's going to be worth it. And we will probably try it out with some adult patrons as well. There's a little snafu with the connection to the thing. We're fixing the connection to the thing. So I'm sure Isaiah told you, lovely connection problem. We're fixing it. The art classes weren't as well attended as usual. I think it's just cold and people are less willing to go out because we already are almost full for the shadow boxes and the puzzle thing is getting stuff. So I'm not going to think about it too much. I worked on a Saturday and signed up 2 new cards. And according to the annual report, we have 10 more users. And that was just in the city. So when we get to the annual report, there's actually more in the county, which is really exciting. I spoke at a panel last Thursday. Eau Claire did a presentation of the movie The Librarians. You can watch it for free on PBS. And I think it's worth watching. It was very well done. And the annual report is done.
I'm guessing that's not the movie with.
No, it's not quite that exciting. I know the Noah Weil.
Noah Weil.
I know those are You should watch those two, because those are great, but yeah, that is not. Great. Questions for me at all?
Hey, can you say that again? No, just kidding.
It's all written there, Jeff. I
Yeah,
basically just read it. Super good.
All right, thank you very much, Becky. And staff meeting minutes are available in your packet. Does anyone have a question or concern?
Just clarification, the free will donations, I think, is a great idea. Is that something different than what's out there now, the
No, but
bowl?
it's, well, the fishbowl is if you want to just give us a donation. The free will donation is for anything that they're like the magazines that they're buying and the books that they're buying. And we've moved to that a little while ago.
Okay, thank you. I was thinking something else.
Yep.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Circulation report.
I mean, everybody went up. The only thing that I found interesting is, I mean, it's all interesting, I guess. But the thing that I thought was of the most note is that the overdrive usage, so our ebook uses actually went up by like a significant amount. Like it's high, it's kind of like hovered around like 1,000 basically, and now it's up to 1,100 for the first time in a year or so. And of course, we don't get credit for that, but it is still people using the library. So it's always kind of a yay, oh, type thing. So, yeah.
It makes sense that people were interested in e-materials when it was so cold and
Yes.
didn't really want to leave the houses. It's fine. Still need to figure out a way to get credit for those checkouts.
Done at state level, Jenny.
Right. All right, then. Any updates from the Friends of the Library that they found for you?
They had a tea party, and it was Tuesday, and unfortunately, I had a board meeting for the Red Apple Center, so I don't know how they did. But they had these really delicious little cookies that they left the leftovers for us in the back. But so they're doing their thing, which I think is great, and they do meet every month, which is good. So, yeah.
All right. And Gavin is here this evening to give us a TAC update.
Yeah, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Gavin Esterholm. I am the secretary of our teen advisory committee here at the library. We meet once every month, usually it'd be, what was last week, Wednesday is when we try to meet, the week before the board meeting. And we met on the 16th, discussed a few things. That led into a subcommittee meeting that we developed, which was actually yesterday, but I'll get to that later. Last week, Friday, we had a trivia day where a bunch of youth were invited here to play Kahoot, which Becky hit on that a little bit earlier, but it's basically this, I don't even know how to explain it, because it's like a little trivia game that you connect your phone or device to, that there's one master board that then a question will pop up, you have to answer it, and how quick you answer, you get more points. I think we said there were 11 people there, that was said yesterday, so very good attendance compared to some of our other events. I think it was a little bit more advertised at school even, that helped a lot. And I think that it'll grow a little more now that we have Kahoot to back it, because it's a pretty good site to use for things like that. Then the subcommittee meeting, we're trying to implement a program that I think Emmett Knudsen got from the Menashaw Library. It's 100 books before graduation. So we have a committee that is dedicated to developing that idea, which will really incentivize reading in the middle school and high school. There will be prizes for every 10 books read up to 50 books. And those are like little things like gel pens, notebooks, stuff like that. But then as you get further on, we're going to try to get more grand prizes. And when you get to 100, like the next few categories, you'll get a choice of a few more bigger things, like some gift cards, some chamber dollars. We're going to try to get some local businesses to help us out with some of the prizes. And that's been something that I'm really looking forward to seeing how it works. We're going to try to implement that after our next meeting. So it'll be early April, late March, for that. And then we also are planning a scavenger hunt on St. Patrick's Day. We have off of school on that Friday. I think it is the 27th, and we're going to have a little scavenger hunt throughout town where we'll have each of our TAC members spread out throughout. I don't know how far we were really planning on going away from the library, but a little bit, just down Main Street and stuff, and give little hints and then make a fun scavenger hunt out of it and see if we get some good attendance for that. But there'll be, I think we're also planning to give a little bit of prizes, or I know that at the Kahoot we had, or at the trivia night, we had pizza from Loggers Pizza, and that definitely brought a few more people in.
Yeah. We figured.
Yeah.
Always does that.
Yeah. So we're gonna try that, see what happens, but that's really all I have for now. Any questions?
ACT review? I saw that on the list.
Yeah, there was nobody that came to that one. Yeah, I think, and it slipped under someone had mentioned that they were gonna put out a post for it, and then that never happened. So it wasn't well advertised, which I kind of took that as, now we need to make sure we're advertising the things that we put out, because there were a lot of people that I talked to the next day in school that were like, I would have went, but I didn't know. So trying to get that onto announcements, which I do announcements at school sometimes, so I can get it on there and things like that. Just advertising it more will get more of a drive for that.
My room, Monday, then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah.
Friday.
Every day of the week. I will.
Are you offering to host it too, Mr. Peterson? Oh, okay.
This entire next week. Just after school, whenever anybody can come in.
Awesome.
Nice.
Nice.
Good, thank you.
Thank you very much, Gavin.
Okay.
Need the update and the hard work. Okay, Becky, what do you have for us with the renovation?
Okay, so I did make a list. You should know that I already ordered the new computers and we've already gotten the bill for them. You'll see that next month. It's not super hefty. It's $6,600. But here's the catch. So Iflis bought like a stockpile of computers at the 2025 price. And every computer that I'm replacing in here is like 7 to 8 years old. And so before these things triple in price for reasons that are outside of our control, I want to replace these computers for the 2025 price. So that's why I went ahead so quickly. My computer is doing weird things. I'm having Matt look at it like once a month just to make sure there's not like a virus on it, but it is not handling what I'm asking it to do. So yeah, and like I said, everything else hasn't been updated in a while. So 10 new computers at the 2025 price, $6,600. We have an account for that anyways. It's I think right now the main feeder for that is the book sale money. So I think that's what's going into that account.
Is it 10?
You talking about the technology fund?
Yeah, doesn't the book sale money usually, we've been putting it into the building.
We have.
But we haven't,
70,000
yeah.
Right.
Plus earmarked in that technology fund
Yes.
account.
I think
So,
we stopped because it was so hefty and
Right.
yeah,
we weren't using it.
so yes. So anyway, so that's done, but I thought it should go on the list because that's easy and done. Okay, then the new shelving and the new furniture. So the last time I asked for updated money on those was in May of 2023, because that was before I wrote that really big grant that we did not get, which is a bummer. So I'm sure those costs are more. We can split the shelving. I would caution against like splitting it too much. Like, I don't think that we should buy like 4 pieces of shelving at a time, but you could split it between children's and adults. The reason why I don't really like that idea is because we have Jurgis come from Madison and come up and pull all the books, and they store them in big trucks. They store them at the big quarry up behind that the city has. So they did that for us when we redid the walls and the carpeting. So if we split it, then we have to pay Jurgis twice. And it's not an insignificant amount of money. I think it cost us like $20,000 last time. I think the updated cost from him when I asked again in 2023 was like $25,000. Or Yeah, that's right. Oh, I thought I said that wrong. No, that's right, $25,000. So it would behoove us to do all of the shelving at once. However, we could, if we did smaller pieces. I mean, our collection isn't so big that if we got like everyone on the board and everyone in the friends group to clear out half of their garage and hold on to our materials for. So that's the other option. Or we can pay Jurgis twice. Like, I mean, I don't know. If we're in the midst of fundraising, maybe that doesn't sound like a horrible idea. Okay, that's shelving. I think we should do shelving before furniture because the floor plans that I'm looking at now were done for us by Mona, which was and I can't remember the last name, but it was Mona and Bruce. It was a husband and wife out of Madison. And they have since retired. And so now we're working with Library Furniture International, and his name is Henry. And that's fine, but I think I would have them reevaluate the furniture that we need after we get the new shelving, I guess is what I'm saying. So like, I really don't think that we should do the furniture before the shelving. If we do it all at once, great, but not in the opposite order. Okay, so those two things. Again, I'm sure these estimates are low. I don't know how low. I don't know how much the cost of those shelves has gone up in the last 2 years. I mean, I don't. Then I was told to shoot for the stars. So it would be really great if I got a new ring. I don't necessarily think that we need more room for the collection. We always can buy more books, but I think what we're really struggling with now is the fact that we finally got our programs to be like really, really popular, but now we can't fit any of them in this room when we do them, which is really a drawback. And, anytime we do a program somewhere else, yes, it's great. And yes, we say, remember the library exists, but they're not in the building and they're not seeing what we have and they're not looking at our books. And it's really nice to do the programming here. So I think we would use it for, you can buy those really cool little cubicle things that can be for like if someone's just doing like a Zoom meeting and they need a private space, but they just need it for themselves. So instead of taking up this whole room, we can put them in these little like phone booth things. So I'd like to get a couple of phone booth things and then just a wide open area. It'd be great to have a little bit more office space. I mean, obviously I'm in a closet. It'd be nice if Linda had an office. It'd be, again, pie in the sky. It'd be really, really nice to have a staff bathroom. I have heard that for 18 years. It would be amazing to have a staff bathroom. Anyways, so that's that. The furnaces and air conditioners at some point are going to go. We had the furnace guy in here. During COVID, at the beginning of COVID, I don't know, because the building was empty-ish, I think. And he kind of fixed them. You can tell by the temperature in this room that they've never worked super duper well. But he did say, your air conditioners are going to go. You should make sure that you have money set aside for your air conditioners. That I think we could feasibly use the money that we just put into that account from the city. So I think, like this, I thought it needed to be mentioned because that is building maintenance, but of the things that we've mentioned, I think this is the only thing that we can use that account for. I don't think we can't use that account for shelving and definitely not a new wing and whatever, but we could use it for that. And we could also use it for the roof. I have no idea how long a roof lasts, but it was done it either prior to or in 2015. I know that it's not newer than that. So it is 10 years old now. And when we did it, it was somewhere between like $15,000 and $20,000. And we had that money left over from the money that we had used to fundraise for this new building. So the city had hung on to it for us for 25 years or whatever. But at some point we will need to re-roof the building.
And that was a part of the sales pitch when we were presenting for taking the surplus from last year and putting it into the special account.
Right.
This is not completely foreign for the library. We've done this sort of in the past and we had an extraordinary circumstance this time. So anyway, yeah.
We have what are shingled, is it shingled? Yeah, that.
So,
Yes.
yeah.
What is it, typical 20?
25.
25?
So the new one was
If you pay 25, 30, you're lucky they get 20 out, right?
Oh.
Well, that's better than I thought.
If they're
Actually.
commercial.
That's nice. Okay.
They put the good ones on right away, yeah.
For
They should
another
pay
10 or 15
15
years?
at
Okay.
least.
So I'll just have to do it right before I retire. Okay, that's good to know. But we should leave it on our list because it,
Yeah.
you know,
Are
That's what
there,
it
is
is.
the furnace and the air conditioning checked on like an annual basis or anything, or how does that work? Or just when you have a problem?
just when we have a problem, we call them in. And we've just kind of accepted the fact that some rooms are colder than others and some rooms are warmer than others. And I mean,
And it's all forced air, right?
yeah. Yeah. I don't know a ton about heating systems, but
Put new filters in every year?
we put new filters
Oh, you
in.
do?
Yeah, so I buy those off of Amazon and we know how to, and we write up the dates on them and we do filters. Although I should really check that because I think Jody was the one doing that. So it was Barb and then it was Jody. All right, I will check the filters, but yeah, we do that.
The filters.
Yeah, check the filters.
So the last time somebody was in to check them was somewhere around COVID time?
Yeah, sometime around COVID time, because I remember the sneeze guard was in place and we were pretty empty. So,
Yeah, it seemed like it would make sense to get Northern Comfort or somebody, I don't know, they're the only one I'm aware of around here at the moment, but.
Yeah.
they're who we always call. And they come in and they're aware of the fact that our system is not what they would have put in this library to use. And so they're very good about working with it.
It's been 5 years, I would.
Then come look again.
Chris is the ownership now, so knows what they put in.
Yeah,
For now, I'd wait till summer or when.
I'd maybe give them the call because
Yeah.
I'm on their list and they told me it's 3 months before they're gonna get my unit.
okay.
So
So I'll call them and have them come and check everything and see if they'll do it like May or June.
Because if they can do it before the AC season starts.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Okay,
Surprises.
right, I can do that.
If I go back to the shelving for a minute, I was just surprised by how much Jurgis charges. It's about 25% of the budget for that expense. Can you walk me through kind of how you see that shelf transitioning happening? Because in my mind, I'm like, oh, we get the new shelves. And then like a day or two, we just switch it off. So like, that's my beautiful mind. Like we put the new shelf up, we switch from one to the next and away we go. So obviously that's not how it works in real life.
So you can't move the old shelving without pulling
All the books.
all the books off. And a lot of the old shelving will go kind of where the new shelving is.
Okay.
And so you can't load up the new shelving before you move it out. So at some point, both sets of shelves need to be empty.
Okay.
So like what would happen with Jurgis is they would come, we would load all of the books and you load them onto carts and you load them in order and you number them so that when we bring everything back in, we're not like re-alphabetizing everything. So, and then you load them onto the trucks and then they take the trucks over and then you would take out the old shelves, you would put in the new shelves and then bring the books back. But yeah, it's that like bringing the new shelving in while the old shelving isn't movable.
So the new
Doesn't-
shelving, just first impression, the new shelving we talked about, some of them having wheels.
Yes.
So could we use that as like we're going exactly where we were right now in the youth section, was thinking, we put the new shelves against the wall. You move some over, get rid of the existing, and we wheel the new one in place. Is that like a possibility? Am I oversimplifying the thought in my mind?
Works for me. Well, there's a couple other things too. What about the possibility, you're mentioning storage, if we have to do something storage off building. These days, you could get a 20-foot storage unit, stick it right outside here. And for the course of it, I'm gonna do a 40-foot storage unit at my house.
Sure.
I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna use it for 2 years, I'm gonna sell it back. It's gonna cost about $5,000 to buy it. I'm gonna sell it back for about $4,500. And use it for 2 years while I do some remodeling. They sell 20-footers that could probably fit right out if we had to do that, if we couldn't do what Christy's suggesting.
Sure.
Do we know, are the old shelves? We already put new carpeting in.
Right.
So the old shelves are just sitting on top of the carpet.
Yes.
So we don't have to worry about carpet has been cut and whatnot for the shelves. So the new shelves could just be put in place.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
We can, I mean, it's possible to do it ourselves.
Are we gonna have to assemble
guess-
the shelves? Is that?
You're gonna have to disassemble the shelves. You're not gonna move them, like they're all connected and they're all falling apart. So like the moving the books part is maybe less of a concern than the liability
Okay.
that would be involved in disassembling all the shelves.
And then
However, I mean, you get a bunch of handy people. I mean,
I was gonna say, do we
Like I
just,
said,
do we
it's
just
due-
close during that transition in the past?
we did, yes.
So
Actually, we let you guys pick up holds out of City Hall.
okay,
So we can keep holds going. We can't fill holds, but like if you request stuff, we can pick things up at City Hall. That does entail that I have staff over at City Hall doing that and processing bins and stuff, which means less people to do the actual moving. So I think,
So
you know,
we
if we're gonna
decide
do
about
it ourselves, I would almost think, yeah, we just close.
how long did you guys kind of close in the past? Like a week, a month?
I think it was just a week, right? I don't think, well, we painted and we carpeted
It might have been more like two.
too, but it was limited services, so we
Yeah.
weren't closed.
Sure,
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah.
Where are the old shelves going? Is that part of the program is when they?
Yeah, they would, I think they will dispose of them for us too. So we need to figure out how we're disposing of the old shelves as well.
They who?
Jurgis.
Jurgis would
So you're
Yeah.
gonna take the old shelves with them for this price?
Yes.
Fish groups.
What was the price?
Fish cribs.
Well, what the last time I asked, it was 25,000. And again, that was in 2023. I'm almost afraid. I didn't want to bother Henry
No,
with new
that's
quotes
fine.
again, because I bothered him like
Yeah.
twice, but I assume this is all at least 5% increase just because everything is a 5% increase. At least, I mean,
Huh.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, how many shelves are there actually?
Lots.
Well,
Yeah.
there's 10 rows in nonfiction, so that's 5 because it's front and back, and then
20.
20. And they're all, like I said, a lot of them are connected. That's the biggest thing. It's like it's not like pulling like, you know, a section like what you would buy from Amazon. Like they're
And you're thinking,
custom
all these
built.
shelves, like, none of these would stay, I'll start.
Right. All starting fresh from everywhere. They would match what's in YA. And those have the slanted bottoms so that our older patrons don't have to bend down to see the bottom shelf. So then we can use the bottom shelf better. They're all open through the middle so you can see from one side to another. So we don't lose a kid in the back corner by magazines. I mean, we're not a huge space, but and I think the amount of light going through will make the whole building feel bigger too. Like, I think they'll be very nice. Like I'm not excited about the new shelves.
Is there anything else you'd wanna do if all that's happening? I mean, I know Bruce mentioned we had the new carpeting already. Is there anything else that would be good to simultaneously try to accomplish at the same time?
Did the carpet and the painting.
Yeah.
Things all good.
I mean, just I mean, it would be great to do all of it all at like the furniture. It would be great to do it all at once. But I'm realizing as we go along that unless we really want to go for it and build a new wing, which, okay, right now, there aren't any grants really. The government doesn't want to, whatever. 2 years ago, there were grants for building a whole new building but not for getting new furniture. But if you built a new building and you needed new furniture to match your new building, then you could write the furniture into the new building. I have no idea what grants for libraries are going to look like for the next 2 years. Like we're all just very, very happy that they gave us back our budget. So we're thinking like a capital campaign, which IFLS will help us with. I've kind of mentioned this to John Thompson. So like there's a framework, so we wouldn't be, oh, Galen's here, sorry. I don't know when that happens. Admitting Galen at 5:34 for your notes. Hey, Galen, I hope you weren't sitting there forever. We're talking about the building.
I got a question.
Yeah,
Sure. No, I just tried to connect and sorry I'm late, everyone.
that's awesome. Okay.
The $99,173, does that include the mowers or the moving price at that time was $25,000, that's on top?
Oh, so that's on top of,
That's on top of.
oh, I had it as.
That is,
Oh.
no, that is literally the charge for all the shelves.
Inflation, $150,000 by the time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, let me ask this, at 150,000, for that, new furniture at 60 plus inflation. I know it's not a new wing money, but that's a good contribution to a new wing money.
Right.
Is the new wing?
Would I rather get a new ring?
Would you rather a new wing or shelves?
Hmm.
I'm just, because in my mind, that's a lot of money, which I know when we just did the school forest building, and once you got started, the rest kind of fell into place. Like
Okay.
some of the smaller stuff came forward. It was getting the big thing first. So I'm just like, if we look at 150 for that and maybe another 75 now for furniture, we're at 225 or a $250,000 right there.
If the shelves weren't literally falling on my staff, I would rather build a new wing.
Okay.
But like, I mean, they're falling, like you'll notice like the shelves against the wall back by the magazines don't have any shelves on them anymore because they just fall.
So what
And,
you're telling us. you
Megan was
expect to be-
shelving. Yeah.
Okay.
So
But yes, of course, I would rather have a big community room that we can do dances and stuff in, but like.
Okay.
so back to your comment about the new shelves are on wheels.
Some of them.
Some of them would be.
Yes.
So we would, so. Would it be possible? I mean, how easy are they moved once they're loaded?
They move fairly easily. I went out to Rice Lake and I talked to Catherine, and she's just a little bit taller than me and just a little bit stronger. And I was too afraid to try to move her shelves, but she could move them. So I mean, yeah. not
What
a
if,
big
I
issue.
mean,
So I'm supposed to be able to move them. She told me I'd be able to.
so here's a
Not
wild,
tall.
They're not as tall.
so
No.
wild idea is that to prove the concept that Christie mentioned about, you know, taking and putting the books on the new shelf, carrying out the old one and putting a new one in, could we just get one, I don't know what you call them, a section, one row, enough to fill?
Oh, and just move them.
And do, just buy the shelves for one row, and do that. See how
And
that
do
goes,
that.
and then you wouldn't be, you know, then you potentially you wouldn't need to spend a Jurgis. I mean, I guess
Right.
you'd have to dispose of that one set, but it was just as a trial run to see if you could do that in place without having to go and store them elsewhere. Just by one row of shelves. You said we already
Try the
Sections at a time.
do a section at a time. I mean, plus then you don't have, I mean, I guess as time goes on, the price goes up, so. But you don't have
The
that
answer
huge.
to all of this is yes, we can do whatever we want.
Well, what would-
We can try what, I mean, honestly.
So what if we did a row of, I mean, what would a single row of shelves cost? I mean, this is, if the 100,000 was,
I can figure that out.
I mean, does that sound like
But
a?
100,
No, you're absolutely, no, because the idea of these shelves, the reason why we were looking at these shelves was because these can be moved.
right,
The idea wasn't that it was a one and done, move them in, get them there, okay, that's it, then they're there forever. It was that potentially, you know, it would be a lot of work. It wasn't the sort of thing you're gonna do for every weekly children's program or something, but presumably these shelving units were such that we could, if we knew we were gonna have, say, the kickoff to the summer library program or something,
right.
that we could conceivably basically open up and have one end of this library open. Move the shelves to the other. Now, obviously, nobody's gonna be using any of the library materials that day, but they
Right.
could have a dance. Well, there you go.
And they could fundraise during the dance.
You know, I mean, I guess I don't know, do we, what the fund, well, what fund do we even have? You know, if a shelf is gonna cost us 6,000 or 10,000 or whatnot, you know, do we even have funding for?
Stuff in the maintenance, like where is the building maintenance?
But we have enough in there that you could, if you were to do that, I would think part of the issue was you got 25.8
Right,
right now in building maintenance and improvement, which is in effect, that is the building maintenance, and it's also where we've been putting any funds donated towards the building eventual project and what. You know, you have the way to do it. I think part of the issue would also be you need to see that that these are standardized enough that we get one set now,
right.
and can we get another one that's gonna match it, or are we changing
right.
colors or designs every 6 months? But I'm suspecting that's not the case.
What if we focused on the children's section?
Which section
instead,
needed
the
most?
taller stacks in the
Oh.
children's section, because those. Then we'd have a whole unit done, and if matching came up as an issue later, it wouldn't matter because the others would be over in the
Yeah.
other part of the building.
So do the back wall. Right, like you mean like right outside the story pit, the ones that are against the wall.
Sure, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Are you gonna go
That
with
would
books
make
against this wall? Since we already have a hallway there and just.
That was the
I think
plan.
that was
The
That
plan,
was the plan,
the
right?
plan was to put shelving along most of the walls, just because right now that's unused space. Like,
Okay.
and it makes sense to.
And
do
those
that
won't
way.
be wheelie, those will be stationary.
Those will be stationary.
Okay.
That's the only thing is that then those wouldn't be on wheels.
But
So
if
when
we
we're going
started
to
here,
buy wheeled ones to put the books on, we could do the low thing.
but Becky, if we started here on this wall, where the, I call it the reading challenge was, when the kids had 1,000 books.
Oh, where there aren't any
There
books?
aren't? Can we just shift some over right there? Those would be all fresh shelves.
Tell you what, why don't you think it through?
Yeah.
Bring us a strategy of an area that makes sense, both for matching purposes if we ran into problems later.
Right.
And for, let's get enough that we get a real sense of what kind of work we're looking at.
Sure.
And that we're making the shipping maximize. I have a feeling we're going to be paying shipping costs repeatedly.
Yes. Yeah.
So let's get a big enough chunk that makes sense to do a separate shipping fee. So balance all of those things together, figure out what you recommend.
Suggest doing like once.
Well, at least the whole section.
Time.
Unless Bruce is gonna go pick them up for us again and save on
I'm
shipping.
not gonna offer that for this. One thing for some smaller, this would be a bit over the top.
Back to the funding. We sold the city and that was gonna be for building maintenance. Are the shelves considered building maintenance?
No, we specifically addressed.
No.
I don't think we should dip into that for shelves then.
No, it's a different fund.
These are two different.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The building maintenance capital fund is money that's actually sitting with the city. That's not in this stuff that we're talking.
Okay, well, they're two separate.
They happen to be called.
The same thing.
Yeah.
But yes, this is very different. This is not the.
Right then, okay.
Yeah, if you look at this page, this is a summary of board controlled funds. And that is right up at the top.
Okay,
Well, and we could use some gift money too, if we want. I mean, because yeah,
There's a number, there's.
there's a bunch of places like
$84,000.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a good chunk of that could be available.
okay. We have 78 though because I bought the computers already.
Yeah.
Just
I thought the computers were 66.
66, so 70,
Oh, yes.
77 something.
what's that?
What's left? Thank you. What's left?
78,000.
70,000. I heard that number in my mind.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. I will see what I can think of.
So between the building maintenance and improvement, what's left in the tech fund and the gifts and memorials, we have nearly the entire previous quote amount for for at least the children's portion of the shelves.
Right.
If I'm doing math right in my head.
Include shipping at the time.
Probably not.
I don't remember. At one point we did, but that
So when you
changed.
record it every.
Yeah. And I'm sure that shipping has something to do with the gas prices or whatnot.
Well, yes and no.
If it did, it would be good, but I'm sure that's not good.
The carriers that help.
Yeah.
Where people serve their time and the gas prices went down, fuel prices went down, the surcharge never disappeared.
Yep.
That's true. But if the prices have gone up at all since 2023, I'm sure we're paying that. So
Yeah.
yeah. All right. I'll talk to Henry. I'll see what he thinks.
Yeah. So maybe get a
Um,
quote for that whole children's section and then
Okay.
break it down any.
We had not
ways.
decided where we wanted the rolling shelving to be. Do you guys have a preference between children's and I guess I'm leaning towards children's because if we clear that out, we still have the story pit. Like if I'm gonna have an open space, it's kind of nice to have the story pit right there.
My instinct would be in the children's
Right?
area
Yeah.
because we tend to, as a parent of a young child, I'm more aware of the younger child activities.
Right.
So it'd be easier to open up for that.
Right. Okay. That was my thought too.
Adults don't tend to play and dance as much.
But you are hanging out with the
Maybe-
wrong.
I'm hanging on the wrong
adults,
table.
that's true. Okay. All right. I will. I'll come up with a plan to spend all the boat funds. That sounds like fun. Well,
maybe not.
I'm joking.
Okay, good discussion.
Okay.
And of course, if you come up with a brilliant idea that
is not quite gelled in your mind at this moment, send Becky an email and that will always be a good idea. Okay, old business.
Oh, I do have one follow-up.
Yes.
There wouldn't be any other library that's changing their shelving system that would be wanting to get rid of their existing system that would fit our needs.
I can ask.
Oh, I'm a secondhand buyer for myself, so that's. You mentioned Rice Lake, I'm like, well, maybe they're going to something different.
Well, they're totally done.
Oh, they're,
That was like 4 years.
okay, never mind.
Catherine's had 2 different jobs since.
Okay.
Yeah, but I can ask. New Richmond just moved, so maybe they have stuff.
Sorry, Jennifer.
That's okay. Maybe ask them what they did with their old
Yeah.
shelves too, because if we do this ourselves, we do need a plan to get rid of the old shelves.
Right.
Isn't there a bonfire for homecoming that they need?
There you go.
Material for?
Tough on metal farms, though.
Well,
We don't have metal shelves,
that
or
are
wood
made
ones.
of wood.
These are wood.
Yeah, those are the ones we gotta get rid of.
That's right.
Lot less screws than pallets.
There's no chemicals on there that would burn and go into the air, I'm sure.
Okay, old business, the bulletin board policy.
So Bruce sent an updated suggestion. It's the loose leaf paper that I handed you in your packet.
I'm not seeing that in the online
Oh.
meeting materials.
Because I
Was that
didn't send it
emailed?
because you said you weren't gonna be here. Hang on. Let me, I will forward it to you. Okay.
Got 2 copies.
So you have my copy in the packet and then you have Bruce's suggestion outside the packet and Annie's comments on the back. Just,
Reading it.
Let me just make a quick comment. If anybody's even remotely gonna entertain what I sent in, don't wanna look at this instant and figure this out tonight.
Right.
But I do wanna take just a second and say why I did this. I read through what we had for last month. I wasn't here last month, but I looked at it, but I really tied up and couldn't be here, and quite honestly, didn't think about it again until I saw it when it came through here the other day. And I have been mulling this over thinking.
Galen, it's on its way.
This just seemed the one that we were talking about in the past, which I had also looked at before. It always seemed awkward to me. And as soon as you start trying to add in, I mean, don't discriminate, or you aren't gonna do anything with any group that discriminates based on this and that. And pretty soon, it seems to me, we're putting our director into okay, now you're gonna have to evaluate every organization that ever wants anything posted up. And I'm just tossing this out as, I'm gonna say, a more common sense way to look at this. I just put this together today. I'm not claiming I've got, the answer to all problems, but I'm basically, instead of saying, we're not gonna put anything up there from any group that discriminates against anybody, I'm suggesting that we use most of the same stuff that you guys talked about before, but then for the catch-all, rather than going into non-discrimination language, give the director the discretion to say, we're not gonna put up something that's controversial. Because one of the things that struck me, it finally hit me, I was thinking about this yesterday, and I finally put something in writing today. We gotta remember, this isn't First Amendment space out here. This is not the public square. Everybody doesn't automatically have a right to post up on this board just because it's in a public building. And with that in mind, as long as we aren't discriminatory on our side, I think we're gonna be fine. Now, I am suggesting whatever we do, whether you just go ahead and adopt what was talked about before, you look at something like this and adopt it next month, I do suggest that you run it by the city attorney. I don't know what IFLIS actually does. I don't think IFLIS has a staff attorney, but obviously DPI does. They might not like this. I don't know. But I don't think there is anything legally unconstitutional about using kind of a subjective term of we're not going to put up anything controversial. And in my 2 cents in that note that I gave to Becky, if we go on the discrimination track, almost everything is discriminatory. I mean, that's basically, as I told her, I said, well, JCs would be discriminatory. They discriminate based on age. If the Knights of Columbus were gonna advertise a fish fry, they discriminate based on you gotta be men and you gotta be Catholic. There's all sorts of different things that discriminate based on age, based on gender, based on this. And it just seems like Becky's gonna recognize the things that are or aren't controversial. And as I put in the note, I'm very supportive of what's a highly controversial activity. I'm very strongly in support of Wisconsin right to life. They shouldn't be able to post something up here. I would put up there that simply because that is a controversial item. I would love to have it posted up here, but by the same token, I don't want abortion rights stuff posted up there. That's just my personal view, and I don't think this is the appropriate location for that. And I have in the back of my head, I don't know if it makes sense to even allow stuff from churches at all. Any kind of religious stuff, but it does seem to me that non-controversial, hey, there's the Catholic Church is having fish fry during Lent. They're not this year, but they have in past years. And I put in here food pantries. We've only got 3 food pantries in this community, and they're all tied to churches.
So here's, in the same way that everything can be discriminatory, I feel like everything can be controversial based on who doesn't like it. So that's my only, that's like, okay, I very much do not want to be in charge of what is controversial to go on the bulletin board. And like, if the right to life is having a pancake breakfast, I don't know that I'm not okay with putting a post. I mean, I guess you're right. The other option is to not post any of that and just say, yeah, only nonprofits. So it'll just be the government and the health department. But the whole point is that we're like the only local bulletin board. And yeah, like the Catholic Church is having a pancake breakfast. Okay, we post that. The Lutheran Church is having a breakfast. Okay, we post that. So here was my very last minute thought is, what if we go back to not having any of this, okay? And instead, just have no commercial or for-profit postings, no personal postings, no partisan political campaign literature, no proselytizing religious materials. And then we just say, the library director has the right to say no to anything. That's done. Include your verbiage about the fact that it's not a free speech location. And then we are literally just trusting me without putting the word controversial anywhere, so that Joe Blow can't come into my office and be like, well, I don't like Jenny Markle's church. Then it's controversial. So just leave it out. We don't have a super huge, I mean, knock on every piece of wood in this building, but like, I don't have a super huge problem with the bulletin board. I need a policy that says that you can't put up like your Craigslist ads, you can't put up your personal garage sales, you can't put up whatever.
Yep.
But like, I'm okay taking this, like, again, just take it out, say that I have the right to say no, it has to be approved.
What if a simpler solution I had, which maybe is in between these, right now in the current proposal that Becky sent out, we had the library will not post bulletins for groups that discriminate. What if we just said the library will not post bulletins that discriminate? We get rid of the word for groups.
You didn't want anything from the KKK last month. That's why it says for groups.
As much as I don't like the KKK, I'm actually okay with it.
Okay.
I know it sounds bad. I know Gavin had some stronger thoughts. And so I'm kind of, so this is where like Bruce and I are maybe on the opposite ends. As much as I know I support maybe some similar groups or just approve similar, I think if we go based on the content of what is posted, because otherwise right now, the way, again, I haven't read Bruce's over as thoroughly as I would like.
This is last minute.
But where it's, what Becky had sent us, Becky's evaluating the group,
right,
to determine if they discriminate. Where if we remove the word for group, you're evaluating the content.
Right.
So, and I think content is truly probably more of what's going to rouse community
Content is more able to be evaluated on the spot. because it's there.
Right,
The reason I had put group, and I also use both group and content.
okay.
I only did that because of the discussion last month when I listened to it, sounded like the neo-Nazis and the KKK. Well, okay, if the neo-Nazis and the KKK were a concern, then you've got to have some way that you would say, no, I don't really want to have either of them here. But, I mean,
The original,
just content, I mean, then we could just do content.
the original does still say nonprofit. And I know that then we ran into the fact that some of the churches aren't nonprofit, but I do think that saying nonprofit, like if you're not a nonprofit organization.
Some of the
then-
neo-Nazis are non, I did look that up.
I know.
So if you check my Google
So it's
search.
not gonna catch, it's not gonna catch everything.
It's not gonna catch everything. And I know it says you have the right to deny any posting. But again, so technically, if you think, okay, the KKK is posting and you don't want it, maybe you put a text, you cover up the KKK part. You know, cover up their name, pancake breakfast.
Mm.
It's,
Just so I get this straight, this.
I guess,
Handed out separately, that's the Bruce's one.
Right, that's the one that I just kicked in today. The one that Becky had passed out before is the one that she revised based on the meeting. That's fine.
How many major issues and you say with that?
I mean, maybe 3 or 4, and it's always someone wanting to sell their kittens on the board or do a GoFundMe. Like it's not ever a weird group of people wanting to be like, we're recruiting. Like that's not, again, this really was not supposed to be, it really wasn't.
Little privilege as possible, leaving in all decisions of the library director shall be final.
Yeah.
With as little else, because the more that's there, you just open some more issues. Or creating more of a problem, so.
Yeah,
Right.
you might be right.
And then you run into Annie's comment of, well, who's,
Way too much time, I
Whatever.
think we should go.
yeah.
I make a motion to adopt Bruce's policy. And if there's an issue, Becky, bring it to us and we can visit it. Because it sounds to me like.
I'm sorry, what was that motion for? That broke up a little on me.
But every organization is controversial. I'm sorry. This really bothers me.
Take that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, wait, what was the motion for? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Well, the motion was to just accept the policy as presented by Bruce, but I would really like to take out
Last bullet.
that last bulletin and just, and then the rest of it is probably fine, right? I haven't,
Oh, right here.
for civic educational,
Is that part of your
item to
motion?
be posted, oversight posters will be rejected.
So I got the materials from any controversial order.
Yeah.
You want that sentence deleted?
I want that sentence
Okay, I make a
to.
motion. Scratch the last one. I make a motion that we adopt Bruce's policy with that last bullet point. Materials from any controversial organization or promoting any controversial event be stricken. Removed. Word or. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the word or above it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the semicolon.
Yeah, it's honestly kind of hard for me to keep up with what you guys are talking about since we're changing a written document that was just sent to me a couple of minutes ago. I think this might be
I'm
something
taking minutes, Galen.
You're off the hook.
Yeah, you're off the hook for minutes.
right, but I'm still on the hook for what I vote for.
Right.
I would rather table this issue for another month.
Well, I'm gonna second that motion.
Gonna say, we have a motion on the floor and a second.
can I just add one comment before we vote?
Yes, we are open for discussion.
Open for discussion. I know Annie said she didn't like the word proselytizing. And that isn't what Bruce has. I understand her concern, but I do think it would be well fitting. Because I think when we discussed last time religious materials, we didn't want to say because it was a church
Right.
having pancake breakfast, it couldn't be posted. But if they said,
Bruce didn't have that, but it's fine.
I have it in mind too.
He does have it in
Yes,
his too.
Because there's a difference between an announcement of an event that happens to be held by a religious organization versus material intended to convert someone to a religious position. Right, there is a,
Definition of that.
that is.
Yeah, that's the
definition.
definition.
Absolutely.
so
Well, yeah, so I Googled proselytizing, and Google said, well, proselytizing has a more negative connotation than evangelizing.
Oh. But it's also broader. Many groups wouldn't use the word evangelizing.
I think this is fine, and I actually think if Annie had heard our conversation last month, she would be fine with it.
Okay.
I really do.
I just wanted
think-
to address that. I didn't want to ignore her
Right.
comment.
Yeah.
I just want to ask Becky, are you comfortable with the non-controversial language in the last paragraph, or is that?
No, we should get rid of that.
Okay.
So it should read, it is intended to serve as a place to notify the public of governmental notices and handouts of nonprofit organizations and events.
Which sounds to
Could be
me
a-
like a repetition of
So
the
you want
first
that
part.
stricken?
What
Yes.
if it just ends with?
Let's just do the free speech location.
Exactly.
Just get rid of that whole thing.
Is intended
Yeah.
down to the word events.
Yeah,
Make it even shorter.
So make that, so remove that second sentence.
yeah.
So is that agreeable to Brian and to Jeff? As
Yes.
those who offered,
Agreeable with Brian. Yeah.
okay. And Jeff, you'll get that in your minutes, okay? Any further discussion about this particular?
Do we want to add GoFundMe on the prohibited personal postings? Want that specifically in there, Becky? Are you comfortable with this as it is?
I think this is okay. I mean, it's a personal posting.
personal
It'll be,
Right.
yeah. And when this doesn't work, we'll rewrite it. But for now, I think it's just,
I have faith that
It's
will.
written in stone, it's in black and white.
Any further
Like anything
questions,
else.
suggestions, or discussion? All right, then I'm looking for a vote. All in favor, say aye.
I'm sorry, what are we voting in favor of? Are we voting in favor of tabling this motion for a month, or are we voting on a motion, on a policy?
we're voting on the policy. Yeah.
It's amended.
But it was
Nay.
it seconded? It was never.
Yes, Jeff seconded it.
Jeff seconded it.
Any opposed?
Nay.
Okay, one opposed, the motion is carried. Becky, please, just for our information, include an updated version of this in next month's and have the date of its.
Yes.
Acceptance
Which is
at the bottom as well.
That allowed me to go.
Well, I have it already. You shot it over to me. That's how I printed it out.
But I use have a PDF.
All right,
Because I use WordPerfect.
okay. Bruce is
All right.
gonna fix it and send it. Actually, you know what? Bruce, this will take me literally 20 minutes to just type it. I'll just type it. Then I can have it as a Word document. Because if we ever update it again, I want it.
Or
We
Becky,
want a digital.
if you
Yeah.
open it up as a PDF, you can convert it to save as Microsoft Word.
Okay. Either way,
If you have-
I will make us a copy. Because I
I'll
want
do it for you.
Excellent.
Since when?
All right, moving on, update on the 2026 budget.
Okay, so Shelby finally got back to me yesterday, and unfortunately, I left at noon yesterday because we went skiing. So there's a slight discrepancy in what she thinks I need for salaries and what I think I need for salaries, and it's about $2,000, and it puts us over budget by like $2,000. And we have almost $2,000 in capital funds, which is fine. But I actually do want to talk to her about it because I don't understand why her numbers are different than mine when I have the same, like I have my Excel sheet, totaling whatever. So leave this on there for now. I'll fix it. I'll give you guys the numbers next month. But I did use Shelby's numbers for the bills. So when you're looking at the percentages, just because at the end of the year, it is what the city says that they go by. So for now, Shelby's numbers are in the bills, but I do really want to know where she got that number from. So there you go.
She did mention to me back when we were working on it in the fall that all the other departments give her basic numbers and she puts them all into her formula to get all the numbers from the city.
Right.
So,
Which I can do. She's never asked for it. And again, I don't understand why my numbers would be different from theirs unless for some reason she thinks that somebody's working more hours.
okay,
In which case we need to catch that. So
Definitely.
yeah.
good call.
Was she suggesting to you that we're doing it in some different way? Is that?
Yeah, she said that we're the only department that Becky figures out all the breakdown of
all the benefits along with the salary and all of that. And everybody else just gives the basic like hours and work per hour to Shelby, and she runs it all through her system, which would be a lot easier on Becky. It just means you'd have to get.
I would love to do that,
numbers.
but she's never said boo to me about it.
So
So,
ask her about
yeah,
that specifically, because
But-
she made it
yeah,
that way.
I'd rather do it that way too.
Right.
Okay, so let me finish talking to Shelby.
Sounds like a good thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, and I don't know why exactly she asked me about it. I don't remember. It's too long ago.
It's all good.
Okay, February bills are in your packet.
They're in front of you. And of course, you guys know that salaries for utilities, that's all at the city level. So the numbers, the January numbers are in the January bills. So these numbers are what we had at the end of January, and then everything else is what we have through February, which is just how it goes, guys. I can't fix that. Okay. That's what it is.
So Bruce, what were you gonna explain to me when we got to the bills?
You were talking about on the gift side, on the money to the board.
Thank you.
Before we get to the back end, if we could take a quick peek on the actual bills themselves, you guys should recognize that we've got our IFLIS payment in here.
Yes.
And I did want to ask you, Becky. We 13,365, I didn't look back to see how big of an increase that was over last year, but I was interested. Am I reading our chart here right? So ours for the year is 14,444.50.
Yes.
And we're gonna spend 13,365 on IFLIS and 157 on Red Apple. Are we gonna have to rebalance this?
No, our contract services are actually 16,571. What we have that
Oh, there
year,
we go. Okay.
so I was like, no, that's awful. Why did I do that? We need more than $900. So we should be okay. Although that, you know what though, that 14, that number is wrong. So let me check I will check my.
So we have the leftover that showed 21,2650. That is correct.
Yes.
Which would make sense.
Which makes sense.
571 on the left.
Yes.
Okay, I just had that little bit of a concern.
Yes, and the city did charge us for Civic Plus, and they took it out of operating, and I had it in contract supply. So I'm going to talk to Shelby about that too. But it was like $700 though. So I mean, if we need to, we can whatever. But I think it makes more sense for us to take that out of contracts.
So that was the only comment I had on the
Yeah.
actual expenses. And in answer to your question, Christie, the funds coming to the board, we do have one of the gifts was specifically, why did it not show up?
Did you see that last month?
I don't recall.
I think it was last month. Because I gave you
No,
the.
I just got deposited yesterday. And it's included,
So what-
included in here,
Is it included in this? It's included in the $600.
right?
Oh, it must be Olson, Zellinger, and the. That's one person, right? Okay, and the dairy month. Okay, so I just forgot to put the dairy month check.
In any event, you have to address the area education material.
Are you sure you don't want to do it?
I have no clue what you're talking about.
So they called very last minute and said, if we give you $500, will you do something for Dairy Month? Will you do an exhibit? Will you do a thing? And I said, sure, you can do that. And they said, okay, we will call you later with more detail. And I said, easiest $500 I've ever made. That sounds amazing. So yes, I assume that we will buy some more books. We will do a really nice display. Maybe we'll hand out cheese or something one day.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do a little program, have people, ice cream, draw cows. But yes, it was the loosest
Okay,
I've ever heard, which was great.
awesome.
Yeah, I know, right? I didn't want to say no. Yeah.
Yep.
Any further questions regarding bills? I'll be looking for a motion to approve.
And that would be the 19,748.69 above the line. 1,162.09 below the line.
Yes.
I would be happy to.
Quick comment before you make the formal motion. I forgot about this. The entrance tax bill of $1,137. You guys need to recognize that
It's
we're
coming from
we're
board
well
funds.
beyond the $10,000 that
Yes.
we originally anticipated for the door. I mean, I don't know if we have any choice, but I just wanted to. I think we gotta pay the bill.
So is that the full 1137 above over the 10,000?
Yes, we were already over the 10,000, a little bit before this. So
More than that.
we're closing in on 11.5.
I would still make that motion for the amount above and below the line.
Okay, motion made by Christie. Do
I
we
will second it.
second by Brian? All in favor, say aye.
I,
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion is carried. Okay, try to keep this next part fast. You should have all seen this last month. Just my proposal, I won't read it all again. For various reasons that we just encourage Becky to keep us apprised as to how she's doing with her goals throughout this year and schedule the next official director evaluation for filling out forms at the end of the year, 2026, to discuss at the beginning of the year, 2027. Questions, concerns, comments, rejections?
My recollection was most everybody was in favor of it, but we wanted Bruce's formal opinion.
I thought it was great. I already mentioned that to Jen. I thought this was a great idea. In fact, I'll make a motion to approve it.
Okay, motion to approve made by Bruce. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Mark Peterson. Do we need any further discussion?
No.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Say no. Motion is carried. So Becky, just take a look at your goals and make a note, even if it's every other month on your director report, but once a month would be great, but that's a great place to put it. We're already talking about your reports. It would just fit there very nicely. And of course, if you need help or input with any of those.
I just need all the board. Yeah.
All right, annual report.
Okay, I did not reprint this. You guys have the copies of the 2024 and the 2025, but it's like 13 pages, and I just cannot bring myself to kill that many trees. So, but I did go through. So the collection overall is just a little bit smaller than last year, like 300 items smaller. That's good with me. I mean, you know, we weed, we do whatever. Circ is down a little bit. Total circ is down by about 4,000. Children's materials are down by about 2,000. So it's a pretty even split between adult and children's, which was interesting. However, the interlibrary loans and provided and received are up. So I think what they did is they moved us up the list because we were sending out more than we were getting. And now we are providing about the same amount as we get, which is what the system wants us to do. But those numbers are up over 10,000 from last year was, no, they're down. I'm sorry. They're down 1,000 from last year. That makes sense. Okay, that does make more sense. All right.
What is other physical items on that same line? That's significantly down, so I was just curious about that one.
Fishing poles,
Okay.
pickleball, puppets. Yeah,
Perfect.
puppets.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. What was the other one that I cared about? Oh, yes, registrations. Where was registrations? Okay, so we have 10 more resident registrations and we have 23 more non-resident registrations. And that is taking into account the fact that anybody who hasn't used their card for 3 years is automatically dropped. So we probably lost a bunch of people, but we did register that many more people. So non-registration, we're up by 23. So 50 more people than last year, which is amazing. We just need them to check out more books than they did last year. So yeah, so that's fun. The uses of public wireless internet are down quite a bit by like 600, and then the okay, so the usage of our public computers is down by 600, which is whatever, why we got rid of the sign up computer, which is fine. But then the amount of people who are also sitting here using the internet is down. And I think that probably has to do with the fact that the county's really tried hard to make sure that everybody has wireless access in Price County now. And the price of internet goes down every year and whatever. So I don't know, that we don't get credit for that, but it does mean that people were sitting in the building that aren't anymore. So I don't know how I feel about that. I did just notice it because it was about, we're still doing a bunch of programming, which is great. I don't know if there was anything else. I mean, we got more money from the city, but you know, it was that one-time grant money. So overall, the amount of money that they're giving us has been like a zero increase. We all know that. The county went up because they approved 80% instead of 70%. So that number's fun to look at, I guess. Other than that, the out of county circ. I mean, circ is down everywhere, but our circulation to non-residents living in the county is down by like 600 and or to the library is like 600, which can actually almost be accounted for simply because Jess Ware stopped using the Phillips library and started using the Ogama library because she refused to use the Ogama library while somebody was working there. And I know that sounds ridiculous, but her family's like yours, 600 checkouts is not that much. So they already have a library, not a huge deal. We're down from 23,900 to 21,600 to those without a library though. And that's the number that gets us the funding. So that drop isn't as concerning as a 50% drop to those with a library. So I don't know, like I said, circ's down a little bit all over. Overall, we're down about 2,000. I think we're working on it. I don't really know what else I want to say to that.
Does anybody know what the area population is?
Oh yeah, I
The
didn't even
changes been
think.
last year to this year?
Does anybody know that? Yeah.
Just under 15,000, I think it says in the updated book.
What was it in 2024? Do you know?
A little over 15, I think.
I think we've been
Okay.
under 15 for a couple of years now,
Is it?
maybe even 5 years. It's been under.
That's yeah.
This year from last year is about the same. That's what I thought too.
Yeah, so I guess
So
if we
it
have
could
less
be-
people.
Not so significantly different from the population change.
Yes.
Not a trend we want to see continue. So, right.
So yeah. So overall, I think there wasn't anything. I mean, I wasn't surprised by anything. Did you guys see anything that you were just like, why is this? I will attempt to answer.
Just got a question on page 2.
Okay.
I guess I was, 6, item 6 and 7. Do we still do survey weeks for some things?
We do. We do still do survey weeks. They get a little piece of paper up at the front desk and Susan hates it because I make them do tallies.
And we can't do it by way of the actual count?
We were looking at a door counter. They were expensive and I got kind of put off by the door counters, but I will look back into a door counter. There is no other way to do reference transactions.
That would be for the library visits.
Right, yeah.
For the reference transactions, can't that just be off of our electronic circulation?
No, that's a person coming in and saying, what's the phone number to the post
Oh.
office?
My-
Or how many bars are it?
Sure.
No, yeah. Oh, I could tell you, yeah, how much the reference, sir. But
Sure.
this is a question. Yeah.
My mistake. I understand.
Oh, I just want to mention, when you're talking about the school district, less students, our population's going down and all that. Our industrial group is trying to is looking at that. We've actually established another nonprofit development group in our area to look at specifically the housing, daycare, the downtown area, things like that is maybe the point of emphasis. So that's something, and I'm actually in charge of it. And I've had some people come forward and volunteer to be part of the group. And so we're in our initial infant stages basically right now. And we're trying to get together and try to get the public and private entities in our area together to address some of these problems. So
You want to build me a new wing on the library?
that would be something that,
No.
well, it's just,
I know.
basically, if for that to happen, we need more people in our area.
Right.
And we have to reverse the trend. And
Part of it's number, part of it is aging population.
yes, it is. Yes, we have. And it's very complicated. You know, I looked into like the daycare situation and, you know, it's, in order to have a good daycare center, probably only 1 out of every 4 young couples would be able to afford it, to have
Right.
good quality daycare, because it's expensive. And things like that. And there's no daycare available for anybody with a child less than 18 months old. But you can only have 1 teacher for every 4 kids per the regulation. And so if you're gonna have 8 kids, you're gonna need 2 teachers, and you're probably gonna have to pay them 20, 30,000, well, probably a lot more than that. What, $30,000 a year? That's $60,000. And you know, you start putting the numbers together, it makes it very difficult.
But that group's a nonprofit,
Yes.
so you can post on the bulletin board.
Yeah.
So it's like controversial. So I just want to point out that you're making fun of Wisconsin having 40 weeks of winter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know.
40 weeks of winter hours.
John decided that one. That number has not changed in 8 years.
12 weeks of.
So, That's it. Yeah.
Oh, regular hours, it's summer hours.
Yeah.
Here you go, regular sounds better. So slightly off topic, but Mark, if you and your group think of something that the library can do or offer that would coincide with some of your goals.
Well, I think having good quality library is good for the community
Definitely.
and attracts people to the area.
Absolutely. Okay, any further questions for Becky regarding the annual report?
I do need a motion though, actually, and a second to approve it. Jenny's already signed it. Ifla said that was okay, but you guys do actually need to like accept this. And acknowledge the fact that acknowledge all those things on the second to last page that I didn't give you. But that says that IFLA did its job and that we're following all of the rules for funding and that the county is giving us enough money. That sort of thing.
I did read the entire report thoroughly before I signed it, if that helps any of you.
There were 2 different reports here, right? 2024 and a 2025.
Well, yeah, because if I just give you the 2025 numbers, that's kind of useless.
Oh, 2024 was referenced, 2025 is
Right.
the one.
Exactly, yeah.
That makes sense now, because I'm like, why is she sending a report for 2024?
Yeah,
So you can see the difference.
you can see the difference.
You're smarter than you look.
Whoa.
No, I don't look smart. Is that what you're saying, Jeff? Come on.
You're not gonna dig yourself out of that one.
Be quiet and keep.
Motion to approve, yeah, I do a motion.
All right, I have a motion to approve from Jeff. Do I have a second?
Seconded.
Bruce offers a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say no. Motion is carried. Thank you for your work in preparing that, Becky. I know they're sticky and lots of details. Okay, I do not believe we have any. Over there. Any new business from you that should be on next month's agenda?
I mean, we're gonna move on to the next policy that I'm working on. So we'll do a display policy. I don't know if it's gonna be the library staff one or the public one yet. I've been working on them at both times, but we're not gonna do more than one a month because I can't. So
Which one's the library staff display?
we're gonna have a policy for what the library puts out, and then we're gonna have a policy for like if the Czech group wants to come in and
okay.
do Czech Fest for June. So
Okay, so which ones you guys coordinate and which ones are public coordinated?
yes,
Thank you.
so there'll be one of those, but
Okay.
truck along.
Good.
Does anybody else have anything though that they want to talk about besides that?
Should something come to mind, feel free to email Becky. Date and time for the next meeting.
March looks just like February, so next month it's the 26th again. I think I'm around.
Check here.
Day before, no school again.
Oh, sorry
Thing
about
on
that.
the calendar is library meeting question mark.
There you go.
All right, so March 26th, 5:05 PM here in this room, I assume.
Yeah, we should be good.
Okay.
If I have to move it, I'll
Great.
let you know. But
Should you have a major issue, please contact
Becky earlier rather than later. And the meeting is adjourned. It is.
Pretty full.
Great, thanks, guys. Don't move, Mr. Marshall, I need a signature. I'll make it happen.
Yeah, well, because we're making the road.
Well, Gavin, I hope that was real exciting for you.
Yeah. Sure, a lot less exciting than the school board meeting.
Thank you, Mr. Peterson.
Thank you. You're a good man.
Yeah.
Okay, Gavin, since I was a horrible person and only made it to 2 mock trials, how did it finish up for you guys?
It went good. We were third.
You say third at regionals?
But it came down to a 3-way tiebreaker.
Really?
So second was DC and third was Red.
No, it was.
Whether we had the.
Well, because I saw the newspaper publish, or excuse me, the state bar publish the winners, like I saw that, I picked that up right away.
Yeah.
But
It was a 3-way tie for what I was in. I think we ended up there.
okay,
We went against us West right away. And-
seriously?
But won our second.
Okay,
But it was a really good job. It was Suzanne Johnson and I on.
Take care, Brian.
Left side of the lane.
okay.
And I say, they only really beat one Georgia because they were all no. It's gotta be one of those things. That's what it is.
Yeah.
No, and it was really fun. It was everybody.
The ride is part of.
It was cool. But
We
we had Jessica Fairbanks was a judge.
Oh, really?
She's like, yeah, you guys did better than most attorneys.
That's a compliment. Put that on your resume.
It was.
Yeah, that's.
Well, good. Did you guys get all 4 cases?
Your son,
Yeah.
so.
You guys go 2 and 2? Oh, that's
So it was
nice.
really nice.
Yeah.
It was, and then the third trial was.
Where are you gonna go?
And
Well,
the one,
60th anniversary.
the one, I was our time.
So defense was on up? Okay.
Yeah, first week on.
Council interview, anything, you just kind of wait in. I'm like, watching the time collect closer to 40 and then all.
Was that in Vegas too?
2 minutes. Like,
And like.
I don't know what they're
Why don't
gonna do
they-
here.
Right.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Yeah, it's not your job. Yeah.
And then they went on, and I think we won that one, but both of the scoring judges, two other guys won that scoring game. Yeah, like, yeah, you guys didn't talk.
Okay,
And then.
yeah.
Last couple of years.
But that's kind of why we lost the tiebreaker, because it was a 2-1 ballot.
Okay, on that one. Okay.
But it was, I mean, it's bittersweet.
Yeah,
the volleyball.
And so it's all, but then.
Yeah.
If I did, I get it.
William Chester better show up.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you guys, the 2 practices I made it to, I was very impressed, and I'm like, so, yeah, I'm happy to hear it went well. And
It was cool to see all of them. Those years of.
So they've got.
But they're different.
Like even.
So,
Yeah, that's where we're gonna go get regionals. I'm like, oh,
I know,
that was.
Right now.
yeah.
Okay.
Has Bruce and his colleagues offered you a position yet, full time?
Yeah. They keep
They put on.
every.
I bet you they're more than serious.
I'll talk to Trustees about just nearly anything.
A lot of
Yeah, you should.
the actors.
Yeah.
We talked about.
I-
Q&A and.
So I agree with them, please give it high consideration.
The push was hard too. I know last year, the trial court.
Q&A. Some will get up there and kind of like. I
He
don't
was
know
saying
what to
too
say,
that
so
the
that's
bar is
questions,
heavily
but
pushing.
So the bar's pushing, but they aren't. If you go to law school here in Wisconsin, I hired a new associate to be with me 2 years
The
ago.
term I've done is like.
They actually discouraged her from taking my job. And they take the offer she had in Chicago, double what I was paying her. So she said,
It would cost her double to live there.
and she said until she didn't realize that there was a shortage in the room. And she said they never talked about it in law school.
Yeah, I mean,
And she said the reason they encouraged her to take that job was because the UW posts their exits.
Well, the prices.
Like our 3Ls are guaranteed, so many of them get this number, with this percentage have
Yeah,
jobs.
they're
and this
trying,
is-
they're trying to boost their statistics.
And she's like, they really asked if they're gonna. Well,
Where she was at Madison?
she's at Madison. Yeah, and it was a second career for her. But I think, don't quote me on this, but my last survey I saw,
Big one there, they have people that.
it was like less than 18% of all attorneys
Or some of the
practice
things-
outside of.
Yeah, and that's staging, you know, and writers and.
I mean, we have 11 who have some level of coherentness in Price County and
A lot of
that.
them will have some of the lesser.
I mean,
Yeah, it-
Have a table.
it's horrible.
That's
And
what even Dave today was saying, that he's like,
Signatures.
you can count them on your hand.
So you
You
can.
can.
get photos
It's like,
taken,
ah.
they get actors.
And he said it wasn't like,
Well,
it was like way back, even when he started, it was like, there were a lot.
when I first started here, I was going to my 20th year.
I walk in, I'm like.
All of the attorneys from Price County started to get together a couple times a year. The first meeting I went to, honestly, it was very dead face. It was always, what's your plan to succeed?
One of the guys was running down
John outlived you. And he said, he laughed, and he's like, that's a good plan, because this is the next youngest attorney. They go from Bruce.
Wednesday and very much.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What happened? Like, well, where's the rest of the, where was above you and?
So like my cousin, he was above me, but he's an attorney, but he's in Oregon. But when I was in school, there was a huge push, get out of here. Life's better.